Hello everybody. The Warriors clinched the playoffs with a very unlikely victory after a pretty bad stretch of games and a losing streak. Let's pick up the action with Utah up 16 with 7 minutes to go. This play starts off badly enough with Draymond feeding Otto Porter Jr. here, and he bobbles the pass for no good reason. But he doesn't give up, and he splits right between two Jasmine to bonk the ball out of there, and it goes straight to Poole. And here's where the awareness comes in. He baseball passes this ball to the suddenly open Klay. Beautiful. The small Jordan Clarkson sets a pick for Donovan Mitchell, and then as soon as he sets the pick, Jordan Clarkson is going to roll, and Rudy Gobert is going to screen for the screener. So that's often called a Spain or a stack pick and roll. Clarkson is rolling out, and Gobert is coming up to set the screen on his man, but Donovan Mitchell thinks he sees a seam, and he just tries to blow by everybody. Good job by Draymond stopping the Mitchell drive, but also good job by Andrew Wiggins to stay with the rolling Rudy Gobert. Everything resets into another high pick and roll. Solid pick. Clarkson steps up. Draymond giving a light closeout here, and Clarkson just fans on the shot. Clarkson's a super streaky shooter. It would not have surprised anybody if Clarkson had hit that open three, but he is also shooting 31.8% from three this year, so the odds tell you to let him take a hard three. The Jazz get completely mixed up on this pretty slow counterattack by the Warriors. Most everybody's matched up except for Gobert. Gobert likes to sink all the way down into the paint so that he can rotate to anyone who drives past their man. But in this case, Wiggins is just walking straight to the top of the arc, and Gobert sinks all the way back into the paint, and Wiggins thinks, I can make this open shot. I used to be an all-star. Gobert stepping up to set the screen on OPJ. Bogdanovich fakes taking the screen and then tries to blow by Otto Porter Jr. Really good recovery there from OPJ. Stays with Bogdanovich, drives him parallel to the lane, and Bogdanovich goes for a contested bank shot. Pretty tough shot. And Klay tracks it down. You can tell Draymond wants to set a quick screen for Klay early. He's throwing his thumb up behind him saying, come hitch a ride on my screen. So Draymond wanders his way up to set the screen. Gobert is sunk way back. This is the Jazz standard formation, so they're absolutely conceding these pull-up threes. Klay fakes going and taking the screen, gets the defender going this way, and then the wide crossover. Gobert still in drop position. Klay with the sidestep to make some space. Gobert is not going up to block the shot, and so Klay has an awkward looking shot, but it is open. The Jazz look like they're going to try some kind of ram screen action. Bogdanovich coming over here to set a screen on Draymond, and then in theory that will free Rudy Gobert to come up and set a screen up high. It's interesting to watch the Warriors negotiating this. There's a little, hey, we got to switch. This looks like a simple pin down, but Draymond does not want to just give up so lightly, so he's fighting through this pin down screen to stop Gobert from getting that switch. So Gobert is going to cut backdoor. Otto Porter Jr. alertly says, hey, I'm going to pick up Gobert. And there's a little bit of confusion here about who's picking up Gobert. Draymond had headed in that direction, but while his back is turned, Bogdanovich, good move to pop out. In the meantime, Donovan Mitchell driving, trying to force one of these guys to rotate to him. He sees Bogdanovich all the way. The idea is good, but this pass is just way out of reach. Very basic action for the Warriors. Quick split. Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole run at each other. Whenever two run together, one of them dives to the basket, one of them pops out for a shot. Klay's going to come and let Draymond dribble to him and have a handoff. They continue to pick on the fact that Rudy Gobert loves to sink. And here, Poole beat Donovan Mitchell on this back cut. So Gobert sinks in. Klay gets a clean handoff. It's just enough. Draymond just exists. O'Neal has to go around him, and that leaves Klay just a sliver of daylight here to get the three-point shot up. Gobert is so far away, he has no hope of contesting this. It's a small pick and roll. They're trying to attack Jordan Poole's defensive decision-making. The Warriors counter by flashing a quick double team, and Donovan Mitchell very quickly gives up his dribble. So Jordan Poole says, all right, you don't need your dribble anymore. I don't need to double team you. And he tries to peel off to O'Neal. But this is a real Steph Curry move. He gives up the ball. but then immediately cuts and gets the ball back. Poole, unfortunately, gets caught by this action. Andrew Wiggins gets stuck between players. Donovan Mitchell blows by everybody. Who's the last person in defense? Draymond, of course. So Draymond's going to come and stop the ball, but then it's just a quick dump off to Rudy Gobert, right? Wrong. Gobert rotates. He throws up the finger to the air saying, "Make my dreams come true, Donovan." But Klay Thompson peels off to guard Rudy Gobert. Donovan Mitchell makes the right read, and Klay has now left Mike Conley completely open in the corner. So this is pretty excellent play outcome for the Jazz. Open corner three from Mike Conley. I like the hustle here from Jordan Poole. He has no chance to get there, but he is busting his butt to get to the corner. Conley just misses. With Bogdanovic still attacking Jordan Poole's defense, they force a switch, and now Bogdanovic is just going to ISO Poole in the high elbow area. Poole competing. Lurking in the background is Draymond Green here. He's trying to split the difference. He's keeping an eye on Rudy Gobert, who at any moment might cut baseline for the dunk, but then also trying to back up Jordan Poole. Bogdanovic got Poole going one way and then spun back the other way, but he was not expecting Draymond to be right there. If Bogdanovic had this in slow motion, he might be able to dump it through to Rudy Gobert. Bogdanovic just doesn't read this fast enough. A angry Draymond Green in his face, but he chucks it way too high. It's pretty miraculous that Donovan Mitchell got his hand on this. Timeout as he's falling out of bounds. 0.8 on the shot clock. At this point, he might as well have just eaten the shot clock violation. So it's kind of a clever play, but he maybe out-clevered himself there. And then the Jazz end up running out of timeouts down the stretch. They would have really loved to have a timeout back. The Warriors continue to try to take advantage of Gobert playing the super drop position. So Poole is going to try to do a give and go to Draymond. Draymond screening pretty well, so Bogdanovic can't get around this. Poole will have an open shot as he turns the corner. Look at the soap opera down here. Andrew Wiggins going to try to go around Donovan Mitchell to get into position. And Donovan Mitchell is just going to go John Cena on him and just grab him. Gets away with the WrestleMania, though, during this entire so-called boxing out phase. But it was just a little too much when Wiggins, after all this, manages to get into prime position to get this rebound. And as he's going up, Mitchell just holds him down and prevents him from jumping up. Utah refusing to change their drop defense with Gobert over here. And so the Warriors are going to do the same thing. A little dribble handoff from Dre. That's going to nail Klay's defender. O'Neal does the unusual move of going under the screen on Klay. Gobert steps up a couple feet and O'Neal gets away with it. I made it, I'm around the screen. Well, Draymond flips the screen from this direction to the other direction, so Klay can now go to the left. Gobert is trying to come out a little bit farther, but he's not showing on Klay. He's still dropped. And so this is plenty of space for Klay, especially after he's seen a couple of shots go down. Jazz want to pick on Jordan Poole again. He knows the pattern. He knows O'Neal's going to come up here and set a screen. He's not going to go down easy. He's actually going to get in O'Neal's way. Bump, 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 bump. Sets a flat screen, so this is definitely going to nail Andrew Wiggins. Mitchell going downhill. Poole does a pretty good job staying with Mitchell, and for some reason Mitchell picks up his dribble way out here, which means he's forced to go to this Euro step from pretty far away. 1 step, 2 steps, and then kind of awkwardly going up. I wonder whether he thought Draymond was going to rotate more fully to him, but instead Draymond just stays here to prevent a pass coming through to Gobert and just says, fine, if you can make this Euro step, go for it. Draymond tips it out to Klay. Jazz get a second chance. In all of the mess, Draymond had to run out to pick up Bogdanovic. So we have, of all things, Jordan Poole guarding Rudy Gobert. You see Poole fighting to get around to the front side of Gobert, and that's going to be enough to defuse it. So I don't know, maybe Gobert could have come over here and tried to post him up again, but there's only 8 seconds left. So Donovan Mitchell is just going to ISO Otto Porter Jr. Mitchell gets a bump, and then he's going to go for another long-distance Euro step. I don't know about this choice. Gobert gets in there early for the putback, but he just misses. Draymond knows what he likes. He likes the quick pick and roll. Here he's flashing the use my screen sign on Poole. I'm going to go set a screen on your man. He ends up needing to use this angle on the defender, but he does nail him. Rudy Gobert is still dropped. He's not dropped all the way into the paint, but he's still dropped. When I talk about a show defense, I'm talking about Rudy being here so that when Jordan Poole turns the corner, bam, he's got a face full of Stifle Tower. But instead, Gobert is just hanging out back here. Poole with a little inside-out dribble to try to freeze Gobert, and then a very long sidestep. Gobert ends up stumbling back a couple of steps. Poole is really open right now, and he takes advantage. And that's how you whip off an 18-0 run in 3.5 minutes. Let's look on the sideline. We got Steph with a very classic looking OK 3 here. Kevon Looney just throwing up the standard threes. Good job. Nemanja Bjelica, you know that I've been critical of his we're number one celebrations, and I like he's just got his hands behind his back. Yeah, let's not mess around. And then Juan Toscano Anderson, he's got his hands on his head like I can't believe what I'm seeing. That's a nice look. We can call this either the Home Alone with the threes or the Scream. You be the judge. Steph with a nice fist pump. And then Juan Toscano Anderson is so excited. His OK threes have become some kind of quantum superposition state. I don't know.